watching the mystical green beanie.
And speaking of crime, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye is actually a crime story. And a love story. And a story about a man who doesn't have his life together, but wants to get his life together.
Don't forget my favorite part of the story. A story about a mentor and his mentee. And their relationship together.
Because Kate Bishop is actually really cool in this book.
She's always cool.
I mean, she was a part of like the Young Avengers, but I didn't read the Young Avengers, so I have no emotional connection to her before this run.
I think that's what brought me on to Matt Fraction's run, because it had they said Kate Bishop was going to be in it, and I just finished reading the last. I think this was the last Young Avengers book they put out.
The one where Ant-Man's daughter was shot by Dr. Doom.
Nope, that was they made a couple more after that.
Oh well, that's where it ends for me.
They had a whole one where it was like Kid Loki, and they were traveling through dimensions because Wiccan and his boyfriend, I can't think.
Oh, the Prince of the Scrolls.
Yeah, because his
Kid Loki wasn't Kid Loki a Matt Fraction idea?
I don't know. This is your podcast. This is your Beanie Babble.
Well, I mean, like, someone just fell outside. That's unfortunate. But no, one of the Deadpool covers that came out recently makes fun of all the different versions of Loki that show up, and when Loki turns into a little kid, he says, "Oh, don't worry, this is a weird Matt Fraction idea."
Speaking of weird Matt Fraction ideas, having a comic run for so long that we graduated high school by the time it was out.
And we started high school when it started.
Yeah, kinda.
I mean, yeah, just before, because Marvel Now, the original Marvel Now started the summer before we entered freshman year.
And that's where we have to take a look at timing, because I don't think that's actually true.
Really?
It did go for a while, but it didn't go as long as we thought. It felt like a long time because we were in high school and we went through 3 grades in the time that it took place, but it wasn't actually that long.
Really? So what you're saying is we've been making this joke for the past like 3 years.
No, I still think it took way longer than it should have, but it just
I have the omnibus like right here in front of me. I can check.
Yeah, please check, because I think it came out in 2012.
It's still like a year.
We were freshmen in high school.
So he won. So they got an Eisner Award for it in 2012. So they won an Eisner Award in 2013 for it. So that means it probably came out in 2012. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I'm like, it feels like a long time, but it wasn't actually that long.
Let's see.
Like, it came out in 2012. It finished around...
Finished in 2015.
Yeah, 2015. So from when we were sophomores...
So when we were freshmen in
college.
That's still a long time.
That's still like... I think, yeah, you might be right, X. That's still 4 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just wasn't high school. It still was like, we graduated.
No, it was after we graduated.
Like, but the point is, Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye was a very monumental thing for the character that we experienced.
It was a large part of our teen years. We can say that.
It was. Because for me, I was already reading comics at this time. I got in through the Miles Morales, which I don't think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
But what really kept me into comics was reading that Matt Fraction Hawkeye run. Because I was constantly trying to look for when it was coming out, then being disappointed when I saw it kept getting when it got delayed. And delayed.
Over and over and over again. Oh man. Oh, I can't find it in here. But the copyright says 2012, so I'm just gonna go by that.
Yeah, it was 2012.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I remember you got me into it because I saw you reading it in study hall, I think,
Yes.
and I wanted to borrow it.
And you did, and that took about 2 years to get back, but that's besides the point.
I was talking about it wasn't 2 years.
It was 2 years.
2 years. Oh well, I mean, you went to only the joke. Like the story about like the LA woman, because that's like one of the trades in the series.
Oh yeah, no, you can tell it.
Okay, so oh man, we're in study hall, I think, and we were talking about something, and it's very reminiscent of that scene in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Where like Gank is looking at Peter and he's like, stand on the edge of the building and shoot it as far as you can. And that little girl like looks behind her like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
you say out loud, like, you can get your pencil back when you give me back my LA woman. and the girl in front of us, she looks back with this like really confused face, like, what conversation
and then
are we even having?
And then in my head, I have the everybody hates Chris moment of there's 2 more girls we'll never talk to again.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. And then you later on went to ask her out to prom, I think.
We don't talk about that. We really don't talk about that. We talk about Matt Fraction and his great work on Hawkeye, because he did do a lot for this character. He very much developed this character.
He made Hawkeye a character that people care about.
Yes. And people could say, oh, but what about the Avengers movie? Like, people really care about Hawkeye. I think the Avengers movie made him even more of a joke.
Which is kind of sad, because up until then, I actually do think Hawkeye was a joke. I mean, I know Hawkeye had a fan base before that. Like, my boss is an obvious go-to because he's a huge Hawkeye fan. But yeah, like before then, Hawkeye was kind of so it wasn't a joke, but like.
But like, we wouldn't take him seriously if,
yeah.
like, if he showed up and like, I'm here to save the day. It's like, oh great, we got Hawkeye.
And the movies really didn't help it at all.
No, especially when he got even Jeremy Renner was like, yeah, don't worry, in Avengers 2, I actually get to do something that's not
I actually get a character arc.
I get developed as a character, and boy, did he get developed as a character.
Yeah, they went the route that I kind of didn't want them to go, but like I still kind of like it.
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah,
I wasn't picky at this point.
I mean, personally, I feel like unless you're gonna do Ultimate Hawkeye, in which Black Widow brutally murders his family, don't give him a family. But I dug it. But
I think they could.
Yeah.
As much as I don't want them to do that, I think they could still do it. And
I
they can
combine
another plot with it.
I thought they were going to do it in Civil War because I saw a spoiler on this reputable website that has all the best juicy leaks, like all the most reliable leaks for movies. It was on Reddit, and
Reddit where?
I don't remember. I think it was like Marvel leaks or something. But
joke right over his head. Anyway.
I see what you did there. That was a Ronda Rousey joke.
Yep.
10 years too late, bud. Thanks. But yeah. What were we talking about again? Before you made a Ronda Rousey joke?
We were talking about...
Oh, movie leaks.
Movie leaks.
Unless you're gonna like... I saw the leak about, how, but not Bonesaw. What's the guy,
Crossbones, yeah. How could you forget Crossbones?
Because I watched the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies recently, and Bonesaw is in my head.
Bonesaw's ready!
I got you for 3 minutes! 3 minutes of playtime! But yeah, no,
R.I.P. Macho Man.
Crossbones... Oh yeah, rest in peace. But, I saw this source say that Crossbones was gonna kill Hawkeye's family, and we were gonna get that double cross scene from Ultimates 2. But that never happened.
Here's how I think they can do it. And I don't think it's any any coincidence that they mentioned, like, they start talking about Skrulls.
Are you gonna say that like Hawkeye's family are Skrulls?
No, even better. I'm gonna say Black Widow is a Skrull.
I'd take that.
She's a
Has a
Skrull,
nice alien face.
and then she murders Hawkeye's family.
That would be pretty cool.
That's how I think they can do it.
And then we have that like scene from Ultimates 2 where like he just shoots her in the head in the hospital.
But that's a Skrull form because we can't have Jeremy Renner shoot Scarlett Johansson in the head.
Yeah. But yeah, back to Matt Fraction's Hawkeye and not Mark Miller's really dark, depressing Ultimate Universe Hawkeye. Yeah, Clint Barton does not have a family at all. He is a middle-aged, I guess. Like,
I think he's 30s? Late 30s?
Yeah, late 30s, early 40s. But like he's a middle-aged guy. He's recently divorced from his wife, or ex-wife, Mockingbird.
Did she tell you about her feminist agenda on the way out?
No, I don't think she did.
Shame. Good story.
I've actually never read that run.
No, it was in the joke about her liberal agenda. I've never read that. Most people did not read that story.
Yeah,
but a story that people did read was Hawkeye.
Yeah, because it was great. And I like Mockingbird in this story. She's great. And it kind of makes me angry that Hawkeye like is kind of a goof because she's kind of like perfect for him, and like he messes it up.
But I think Jessica's a little bit more perfect.
See, I've read a lot of like Spider-Man and Spider-Woman and like just all the Spider People books. Jessica is not a good fit for Clint Barton at all. In fact, I don't think she's a good fit for anyone. She's kind of she's more of a loner type.
Yes, very much so. And I say that because, do you think that she was mishandled in this Hawkeye book?
Oh, no, not at all. She is exactly like how I would imagine Jessica Drew to be in I guess, like, civilian setting. Because that's kind of what this book is about. Just Hawkeye when he's not avenging and just kind of being a civilian.
Yeah. And I think we got that from the get-go.
Like from that weak sauce hero.
Yeah, we got that from the get-go in one of the moments where he's talking to this guy in a cab, and he's like, I hang around with Captain America a lot, and he makes you makes you want to be a better person. He makes you want to do good things. Look around. Is Captain America here right now? And I'm like, no. Pants shall be darkened.
Yep. He wore the brown pants.
Yes.
But you even see like how kind of, I don't want to say weak, but like how much of a screw up Clint Barton is in the first page. Like he falls out of a window and onto a car and he breaks essentially every bone in his body.
Yeah, I'm like, yep, he does not have powers.
Yeah, no. Which is always weird when, not to like compare him to Green Arrow at all, but like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure in a battle between the two, Clint Barton would not come out the victor.
Well, why don't we just look at Death Battle? I'm sure they had facts and logistics that gave us a very correct answer.
Well, I mean, both Death Battle and Screw Attack had like really weird, I don't want to say biases, but like, they were.
I mean, don't we all have biases?
I mean, everyone is biased. Having a bias makes you human, but like, there was. I'm not gonna get into all that, but yeah.
Yeah. Back to Hawkeye.
Yeah. How did you feel about the way the book was structured? Because there's a lot of time jumps and time skips in this series.
At first,
and yeah, it kind of screwed me up a little bit. But
at first, I didn't.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't like it, just because like I wasn't used to having a story just skip around like that. But after the first volume or so, I got used to it, just because that's how Matt Fraction was writing the book, and I was like, "This makes sense. This makes sense."
Yeah.
What I didn't really like was how he took a whole volume off.
Yeah.
As much as I love Kate Bishop, and she's one of my favorite female characters in the Marvel Universe,
Same here.
I don't like that we had an entire volume away from a book that's already been delayed a couple of times before he started this. And we do get some resolution because we had Madame Mask, and some people want to know what was going on with that. But at the same time, I don't really feel like the book was about Kate. It was not originally. It was supposed to be about Kate. It was supposed to be about Hawkeye. Taking that out of the situation, even for a volume, it's just kind of weird. Like, if you took LA Woman out of this entirely, I think you'd be almost fine. Almost fine.
See, I disagree with you on that. I actually really like the fact that we spend more time with Kate. Because that whole volume with, like, us following her, we really get to see how Clint has, not just affected her view on the world, but affected the way she goes about being a hero, and the way that she goes about basically just being a person. And you can see that Clint really rubbed off on her, and she's starting to act a lot like him. Not in the best of ways either. She's kind of picked up on all of his worst traits, but she's still kind of, in his words, more capable than he ever was. And we see a real progression of her character. Again, that's coming from a place of, like, not really knowing the character all that well in the first place. I know her, like, from, I think, Avengers Children's Crusade. If she's in that, I don't remember, but I've seen her before. But, like, I wasn't as familiar with her character as I was some other characters in the Marvel Universe. So this is, like, my first, like, exposure to her, and I kind of like seeing her develop within the confines of this run.
I do like seeing her develop. I love her character, and if it was a volume by itself, like a one volume, like nothing else surrounding it, this would be perfect. But I feel like if you're telling a Clint Bond story, well, it's not Clint Bond, it's a Hawkeye story, so I guess we're telling both of them. Mm-hmm. I still think we could have gotten that development if she had stayed in New York. Just like, she's separated, she doesn't want to deal with him for a while. You have like an issue or two, and you see her dealing with a situation on her own, like something short that you can get right back to the main story. Not 5 issues, I think it was 6 issues.
It was about a 6-issue arc.
Yeah, it was a 6-issue arc, and I was just like, after the 3rd issue, I was like, okay, I guess the story's about her now.
See, the thing is, I feel like you can't view that arc on its own, because it really informs the ending of Matt Fraction's run, and B, it's heavily informed by the issues that came before it. So I don't know if you can. I don't really know if you can view it in a vacuum.
I guess you see, because when you think about it, no comic is in a vacuum. Maybe early day I mean, like, if you're doing main continuity, you're always going to have mentions, references to something else, references another event.
But, like, I don't know, it just feels so tethered to it. And again, you read this very differently than I did, because I read LA Woman, but I don't remember, like, reading it, like, it's not as fresh in my head as, like, reading it in omnibus form. Like, I, like, remember reading Matt Fraction's, like, Hawkeye, like, just all together as one piece, and that's, like,
did you make it to the Grand Line?
Yes.
You set me up. I'm gonna knock him out.
Yep. I see what you did there.
Continue making your deep point.
But yeah, no. It was like so long ago that, like, I, like, actually, like, sat down and read LA Woman, and then returned it to you after a week, and
it was 6 months.
Yeah, I'll give you a month. So
it was. I started a semester of school and finished and started my next semester of school by the time I got that book back.
It wasn't that long. But anyways, the gap between me reading that and reading the omnibus is pretty significant. So, just like reading it in omnibus form is what's most fresh in my mind, and it all flows perfectly. You actually can't even tell that there was a giant gap in issues because it just feels so seamless.
Yeah, I have to give you that point because I don't have that comic book store job money.
I'll let you borrow it.
So I don't have I've never read it in omnibus.
Don't you have all the trades?
I have the first 3. I don't have Rio Bravo.
Oh.
So I have almost the entire run. I just don't have like the last.
You don't have the ending?
Yeah, I don't have the ending.
I'll get it for you.
But I see what you're saying there because when you read like a book, the way I think Matt Fraction, I think he wrote it more as like a complete story.
Yeah.
Which
well, I want to think he did.
Yes, because you can see plot points from the first,
like
the first couple of issues have significance.
Yeah.
In the end.
Even things that like seem throwaway or superfluous are like really strong plot points near the end and in the middle.
And the third quarter point too.
Yeah, just everything. Like nothing is tacked on. Everything and everyone plays a major part in this run, and I thought it was brilliant. And I'm not using that word lightly. This is brilliant.
Is it Sex Criminals brilliant?
See, that also has the same Matt Fraction problem of it being delayed so long. I haven't actually read it in a long time.
I think that's another story for maybe we can end on that. But I want to talk about the ending to Matt Fraction's run.
Yes, dude. Bruh. The ending of Matt Fraction's run. That was a terrible Russian accent.
I'm like, where are you going with this?
Hey man, they're the bro gang. They're the stereotypical
Russian tracksuit wearing New Yorkers.
Hey, and it works. I love them.
I love them too.
I wish more Marvel writers would use them.
Did we kind of kill them all off though?
Well, no, because he shows up in the end. I think the leader shows up. I have it right in front of me. I'll just look at it.
Yeah. You have the ending, so.
Yeah.
I'm flying blind here.
Let me see. No, okay, yeah, no. No, he's still alive.
Okay, he's still alive.
Because he gets on the plane with his wife. Who
never to be seen again.
Yeah. Penny, I think her name is.
Yeah, I think it's Penny too.
Yes, Penny. Yeah, because that's what she said before she leaves. But yeah, he gets on the plane with her, and then we get this really cool scene, which is never paid off ever again, where we have like all the major crime bosses of New York saying that they're gonna go into the Avengers killing business. That's never paid off.
If Matt Fraction ever, I don't think he works for Marvel anymore, but if he ever came back,
oh god.
That's what he has to write that book.
Yeah, dude.
It's kind of like when Brian Michael Bendis drops pieces in his stories or has to pick up and no one does it. He needs to pick up those pieces.
You just described Ultimate Spider-Man to a T. He lays down like the groundwork for so many cool things and no one does anything with them.
Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye can be. Matt Fraction's run on Hawkeye can relate to a lot of artists. It can be related to Brian Michael Bendis by dropping clues and no one else using them. It can be related to All-Star Batman and Robin for the fact that it was delayed too long, and the fact that we had to blame the artist. Like, Guy,
You know, it's like clearly Frank Miller's fault.
yeah, I'm like, like, I don't think. Actually, I'm not sure whose fault it is this time for Matt Fractions.
I have heard from people who work in the comic book industry that Matt Fraction is just one of those guys who will be on a run for a long time, like, you know, be on a roll,
Yeah,
on like a run for a long time, and then he falls off a wagon. And again, I can't confirm anything. I can't say whether or not any of this is stuff that I know for a fact. But I've heard like he's a guy that like, yeah, he's one of those guys. You know, and like you know what I mean when I say like one of those guys, like those brilliant artists who like just kind of have moments where they can't really put themselves in a headspace to complete what they're supposed to complete on time.
yeah,
Yeah. So it apparently it's more so Matt Fraction's fault for the delays, but you don't see them.
you never
You
see
don't
them.
at all.
It's not like All Star Batman and Robin where you see the delays.
Yeah, like this just is so, and I've said this a lot. But like it's so seamless. It's so like it flows so perfectly. It's almost. If I hadn't seen Matt Fraction like in interviews, I wouldn't think he was like a real person. I think like Matt Fraction was just like the alias for like 8 different writers who collab with each other. Because this is laid out brilliantly. This is like formulated and crafted so it's so intricate. Like you don't even believe that like one guy could write this. This is fantastic. But now you sound like a broken record.
Yeah.
Want to talk about the art?
The art. Oh my god. David AJA. Because I don't want to.
Aya.
Aya.
Yeah.
I was gonna butcher that.
I think it's Aya, but it might be Aja.
Aja. Yeah, so I think, is it Aja? Is it Aya?
Someone will let us know.
Someone will sure to let us know.
Like you uncultured idiots! How dare you not know this man's name?
He did a lot of amazing work. Like, his style worked so well.
Yeah, and again, he's not the only artist.
Oh, heck no.
He's the main
Would you
artist.
like me to go through some of the other artists who was on here?
I mean, it's on the cover of the it's on the dust jacket. I just gotta find the dust jacket.
How do you lose the dust jacket to an omnibus?
I like the actual like hardcover like cover. It's just like the purple bullseyes. I think they're awesome. There it is. I think Polito is one of the
Polito.
artists.
He wrote. No, I was about to say, yeah, he wrote in number 4 and 5 the tape.
Oh, okay. Ham, Hollingsworth, Francavilla, Iliopios, Lieber. I'm just reading names now.
And my favorite, Ann Wu.
Yeah, and Wu. I said Ann Wu.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was too busy thinking about Ellie Woman. I'm sorry.
Not the trade, huh? But yeah, I love David Aya's work. It feels very Batman Year One. I'm not sure if you've read that recently.
Not recently, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like you know that David Mazzucchelli, like grim and gritty, but also like hyper stylized.
Yes.
Comic art. I can't explain. It's just so perfect. Back when I wanted to do art for comics, this is the style that I kind of based my style on. Well, that and Sean Sheik's art style for Spectacular Spider-Man. but like it was kind of a mix of the two because I just love this art so much. It really works with the medium, and you know how sometimes like when you're reading a comic, it feels like you're like watching a movie pitch.
Yes.
But like this feels like I'm reading a comic book. Like, and a lot of that is attributed to the way that Matt Fraction, directs the artist and takes control of the paneling and all that. But this just feels like I'm reading a comic, and I know that might sound kind of dumb to people who either are new to comics or I don't want to say don't understand the medium, but like aren't fully engrossed in it. But I really appreciate how like I feel like I'm looking at something that feels like the artist understands the medium that they're working in, and this is just fantastic.
I loved all of his stylized work in the book, and like he's gotten to the point just from this book alone. He got to the point where I'm like, if I see he's doing the art for any, like I'll pick up the book because like at least I know it's gonna look beautiful.
Yes.
Like Scarlet Witch, I picked up that book, and
he does the art for Scarlet Witch.
He did the covers.
Oh yeah, those covers are beautiful.
Yeah, those covers are amazing. And it's just like
I actually got the first issue because of the cover. I don't even like Scarlet Witch, to be honest, but like
I guess you shouldn't judge that book by its cover.
Yeah, I mean I didn't even read it, so like I don't know.
Like it's still in the bag. Like he just hangs it up on his wall.
Yeah, it's bagged and board. It's in one of my long boxes. I haven't read it. Some of the other artists, like the art by like everyone is great. I love the art in LA Woman. That's Ann Wu, right?
Yes, Ann Wu did almost all of LA Woman.
Yeah, this is all like absolutely fantastic. I like how they do a thing that later artists would do, where they really make Kate look like a kid, because she is a kid. She is a kid trying to be like more adult than she really is. But
I mean, legally.
Well, yeah, but like she's so like she thinks she knows like how the world operates, but like she has no
clue
idea,
and that is proven the most in LA Woman.
Yes, and even a little before that, which again, you can't read LA Woman without reading some of the other stuff because there's an exchange in I don't know which volume it would be in, but early on, after that whole scandal with
Little Hits.
I think so.
Yeah, it's in Little Hits.
Like the video of him like killing the.
Yes, it's
Buffy, yeah.
I think it's Who Pulled the Trigger. Little Hits, issue number 10.
Yeah, that. But you just said. But there's a great scene where Madame Mask is like, I haven't smoked in years, but you really make me want to pull out a cigarette and start smoking right now. And I'm gonna like put it out on your face. It's like, oh, like, and Kate is just, she reverts back to being like a 10-year-old, and that's just her throughout the series up until we get to the end. After like she goes through the arc that she goes through in LA Woman, and yeah.
Do we ever get any resolution with her parents?
I think Jeff Lemire does something with that, but I haven't read his run. I've just been told stuff about it, and from what I've heard, it's basically just him continuing where he left off with Green Arrow.
And because you might get a comment about this, I was wrong.
What?
It was in the first trade.
First bug?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it was called The Tape.
Oh, so it was appropriately named.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about Penny? Because I find her extremely frustrating, but
Yes.
she's totally a character that I can see Clint Barton just falling head over heels for needlessly.
I see her as a real person. I see her as someone who could actually exist, which is what I love in characters. Someone who you would know this person. And much as I did not like Penny, I think that was mostly that was her.
Yeah, she was frustratingly human. Like she's so much of a person. You're like, oh my god, I see enough people like you in real life. What are you doing in my comics?
This is my escapism. I don't need you in real life.
Oh man. But yeah, she was frustratingly human. So was Clint, but that's also like just Clint.
But his name's on the book, so we gotta like him.
I don't. Yeah, there be moments where like Clint does things. I'm like, oh my god, this guy. He's such a human being. It's kind of frustrating. He reminds me a lot of Marvel Cinematic Universe Daredevil from the Netflix series. It's
Yes.
just like, oh my god, dude, you're so much of a person. It kind of makes me like cringe at points, but that's kind of the point of the story or the scene. But yeah, what's your favorite just moment in the series in general?
My favorite moment is I think it's from LA Woman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when she has to sneak in to some party, and she dresses up as one of the sushi girls that businessmen eat sushi off of.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I love that moment because it was so Kate. It was so Kate.
Yeah.
And then she has to she threatens to kick all their asses, and it's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm young enough to be your daughter's cooler younger friend.
Oh man. My favorite moment probably has to be the I'm an Avenger. Are you Iron Fist? What? No. Why does everyone keep asking me that? Although that's
Because
kind of
people
a running joke.
Because people really want to know who's the immortal Iron Fist and why isn't he Asian?
Oh my god! Don't even start. But it's actually kind of funny because I didn't know this up until recently, but Matt Fraction also wrote Iron Fist.
Yes, he did. He wrote a lot. Like how many?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it was him and Ed Brubaker. But yeah, that whole run on the Immortal Iron Fist was fantastic. It's what the TV show is loosely based on. Very, very, very loosely based on.
Very loosely?
Very loosely. But
I don't know how far I could have went with that joke, because I had a joke in my head and I'm like, nope.
Save it for the LA Woman.
Okay.
And that went over your head, didn't it? Nothing.
So, what is Matt Fraction doing now?
I know he's doing, he's concluding Sex Criminals right now. Either that or it has just concluded, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for the trade for that to come out, because I'm tired of waiting on issues. But
we waited all throughout high school, Matt Fraction. We can't keep waiting on you.
Oh man, but
you're like my dad. I keep waiting for you to come back, but you never do.
There's a story behind that, huh?
There's a story behind it. I think I pretty much told the story.
Oh well, but
and we can't find out what he's doing on Twitter because apparently he has his tweets protected.
Well then, that's lame.
Yeah. But last thing I heard about him was that he was creating a sex criminal show for Universal.
That's for Universal. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd rather see it for Netflix, but as a Netflix original series.
And by Universal, I mean like the channel Universal.
Oh yeah.
That's like really high up there. Like you gotta get like the premium package just to get that high.
Yeah, it should have been a Netflix original. But, I love Matt Fraction. He's like one of my favorite writers of all time. And this is like, I think this is his magnum opus.
And for those who don't know, which isn't me, what is a magnum opus?
It's a masterpiece.
Yes.
It's like, it's your baby, basically.
For those who did not know, which wasn't me.
Which totally wasn't you.
Like, I was about to say, bless you? Gesundheit?
Dankeschön. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think that concludes.
Any last thoughts?
Any woman is probably the best.
I wish Matt Fraction could write Hawkeye forever.
But as we know, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Also, I think Matt Fraction would write a pretty good Nightwing book after reading this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm loving what Tom Seeley's doing right now, but dude, Matt Fraction would write probably the best Nightwing series ever.
Speaking of ever, I got no transition. I was gonna cut it off at forever, but never mind.
Oh, okay. Well, like Pizza Dog, farewell.
Pizza Dog.
Did he die at the end?
I'm almost positive he died.
I guess this is Matt Fraction channeling his inner Kirkman.
Like, why could we have Pizza Dog forever?
No, Pizza Dog's still alive.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he'll live on forever in our hearts?
Well, until he turns 15 or 16 and he starts, getting blood clots and
he'll reach his end, just like this episode of Beanie Babble.
Yeah, just like this episode. All right, well, we're just moseying along now. So, adios, nachos. Well, before adios, have you read Matt Fraction's Hawkeye? Let us know down below in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, share for the channel, and if you want to see more content like this, all you have to do is subscribe, not just to me, but go over to ThatOtherReviewDude's channel and check out his content and subscribe to him as well.
I will be making
what are you
content.
doing?
I recently just did an article that I'm going to turn into a video about the controversy. I don't want to be a YouTube genre channel, but I feel like that the controversy between the Completionists and Greg Wilmot is very interesting because it takes YouTube when it was still the Wild West and kind of pushes issues that we thought we were going to have to the forefront. And also, for the less for the more basic, and it's not going to be that deep. I'm going to talk about, I have a review planned. Gonna come out by this Sunday. I have my word on it's going to come out by this Sunday.
Oh, are you sure about that?
Shit, it's not going to be like Father Like Daughter. Shut up.
Okay.
About Boys by Charlie XCX, because that's a really good song.
And are you sure it's going to come out?
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, he also does great gameplay videos.
Yes,
so.
I do live streams from time to time. If you like me poning noobs or whatever the kids say these days.
I heard you incorrectly there, but I think you said poning noobs.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Totally. And on that note, we're gonna end this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, adios, nachos. Adios.
I was running through the six.